This is from Warren Sharp, Sharp's Football. Quarterback tiers for the rest of their career. So at the top, the tier S for star, Mahomes, Allen, and Hurts. Tier A, Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, Trevor Lawrence. Tier B, Lamar Jackson, Deshaun Watson, Kyler Murray, Justin Fields, and Anthony Richardson. I can't argue with the top three. I'm still not sold on Trevor Lawrence. I know he had a great year, and he gets graded on a curve because he had Urban Meyer for a year. But I guess where Watson is it's reasonably fair. I think people tend to not realize how young Deshaun Watson is.
Yeah, I don't think this is Warren Sharp's best work. I take exception to a few things. Jalen Hurts being in that top three. He had a great season last year.
Yeah.
One season isn't a career. I think that there's going to be a big adjustment to the way defenses approach, not just him, but Philadelphia in general. And if he's able to counterpunch and show he's still that elite guy, even after everything changes around him, I could, give him his accolades. But I would put Burrow in that top tier pretty comfortably with Allen and Mahomes. And I'm with you. I don't think Trevor needs to be elevated to that point yet. And then you look at that tier with Watson and Lamar. You got a rookie in there who hasn't even taken a snap.
Yeah.
Being put in the same tier as a Lamar Jackson and a Deshaun Watson. To me, that's laughable.
Yeah, and I'm not quite sure on Kyler Murray yet either. So again, I agree with you on Burrow. I think Burrow should be up there as well. But the tiers and all that leads me to this: How good does Deshaun Watson have to be for the Browns to be what they want to be, which is a legitimate contender?
Yeah, it just depends on what the definition of successful would be. For me, that's you have to at minimum make the postseason and make some noise in the playoffs, winning a minimum of a game. And if that's my definition of success, then what Baker did in 2020 would constitute, right? So 3,500 yards, 62% completion percentage, 26 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, But bear in mind, if Deshaun plays the full season, those would be his worst stats yet.
Right.
So I expect him to be much better than that. I think the bigger question is how much success would Deshaun have to have on the field for him to actually get credit for it? Yeah. I think if he could throw for 4,600 yards and 38 touchdowns, and he wouldn't even be in the MVP conversation as long as there was just one other player with those kind of numbers. I think they'll automatically get it. So it's skewed for me.
I think if he's borderline top 10, I think they are legitimate AFC championship game contenders.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt that this roster's built like that. And if he's able just to be the engine that drives it, this should be an 11-12 win team. Point blank. And anything less than that would be a failure.
And that's not him getting back to the level in 2020, because back to the level in 2020 is, top 5.
Yeah, MVP conversations, if he's able to get to that.
I think people tend to forget he made 3 straight Pro Bowls, being Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, by the time he was 26. Yeah, and like you said, people forget how young he is, and I think the next step's inevitable. I think it's just a matter of time. I think everyone's kind of in this mind frame that he is who those last 6 games were, not the first 50. The larger sample size, that's what I would point to. I think Water finds this level, and I wholly expect him to be back there this year.